folks, welcome back to my channel World of Flutter. So today we are going to take a look at the Flutter Launcher Icons package in pub.dev, and this package license is MIT and the publisher is Flutter community. Special thanks to Mark O'Sullivan from the Flutter community. And as for the likes, pub points and popularity, we can see that this is a very good and efficient package to use. And the platform on which we can use it is Android, iOS, Linux, Mac OS and Windows. So let's look at the README. So in the README we have a guide and they are telling us how to set up our configuration file. So this package is a little bit different from the packages that we usually use, and here in this package we are going to be using a YAML file. So either we can use pubspec YAML or else we can create our own YAML file and put it in the same folder where we have our pubspec YAML, okay, because whatever changes we are going to do, that will be in our YAML file only. So let's first go to the installation. So in the installation tab with Dart, either you can run this command, or with Flutter you can run this command, or else the third option is that you copy this line of code and paste it under dependencies in your pubspec YAML file, and that's what I have done here. And after that you run pubget. So we can see that I have a very basic code here with a scaffold and an app bar, and it has a default Flutter icon. So we are going to change that. We are going to change our app icon using the launcher package, okay. And in my YAML file I have this particular line of code under my dependencies tab, and I'm going to run pubget. So once I run pubget, in the messages tab I'll be able to see that it has been added in my project, okay. So you can do that. Now since we are going to see the changes in the different app icons that we are going to use, so we are going to need a set of images for that. So under my project directory I have made a folder named assets, and in that I have so many images. So these images I have got from the repo that they have here. So they have a repository in the GitHub, you can go there, and in that, in the default example you have assets and images which has these many images. So I have just downloaded them all and I have pasted it in my project, okay. So you can do like that. And after you're done with that, you can go in your YAML and in the assets tab you can just import your asset so that you can use it later. And also wherever, in whichever file you want to use, you can just copy these imports and you can paste it there. So let's go back to README. So here I'm going to be using the same pubspec YAML only. I'm not going to create another YAML file, okay. So let's just copy these lines and I'm just going to paste it, and I'll explain along, okay, what I'm going to do. So under dev dependencies we need to paste these, and make sure that your indentation is correct, okay. So in Android, iOS, web, Mac OS and Windows we are going to see, okay. So I have pasted this, and here you can see in the Android we are giving it true. You can give the name also of your icon. For iOS also you can give true or the name. The image path is already there, which will be common for us right now. If you want to use different images for your Android and iOS, then there is a way to do that as well. I'll show you, okay. Then they have mentioned a minimum SDK, which is 21 they have given. For web also they are giving generate as true, which means that whether you want to generate or not for web. And similarly image path, here we have two more properties, which is background color and theme color, so you can give the hex code as you want. And in the Windows also same, generate an image path. One more feature that they have in Windows specifically is the icon size. So you can either give it like this or you can give it as a constraints, with constraints. Similarly in Mac OS we have generate an image path. So let's just run this for now. And in the assets I am going to be using the asset that I have, so I'll be using this asset. I'll just give this the name icon 7110x599 android.png, okay. This is the icon that I'm going to be using. So once you are done with that, let's go how to run it. So if you have your own file, then you can do this command. First of all do pubget because it's a YAML file, and after that you can run this command Flutter Launcher Icons -f and the name of your file name. Now I'm not using another file, I'm just using YAML only. So I can just copy these commands and I can just paste it. So I'll just do that. I'll go in my terminal and I will just paste it. So I'll just paste flutter pubget, that will be run on its own. After that, second command will be written, and then you have to press enter for it to run. Now let's just see whether it's created and added our launcher icon or not. So okay, here it says creating default icons Android, overwriting the default icons, which means that the new icon has been added. There is a warning for okay, Apple Store, which means that there is a warning for iOS. For iOS it says path not found. Okay, fine. So they have path not found here because the path is not correct. We are not using paths folder, we are using assets folder. And for web, I'm going to be using the image that they have used. So this is the examples YAML file. In the default example they have given, and I'm going to be using the same icon that they are going to use for web also, and then I'll show you for web as well. Okay, and I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it for both Windows also and Mac also, so that we don't get any errors. And then we have one more error, which is, I think, yeah, for remove alpha iOS as true. So I'm just going to copy this from here itself, and I'm going to paste it right below it. Okay. Yeah, now I think I have all the paths correct only. So let's see if this works. So let's run again pubget, we need to run, and after the pubget is done, then we can run the second command. Okay, let's see. So it will take around 5 seconds to run. Okay, we have a error. Okay, let's just do one thing. Let's just remove it from here, and I'm just going to copy this. I guess I just put that row in a quotation, that's why the error was there. Now I think it would be fine. So you can run pubget from here also, you can run from the command line also. Okay, so I guess the pubget is run. Yeah, now let's run from terminal the second command. Okay. So now they're saying creating default icons for Android, overriding, then overriding for iOS also, then creating for web, Windows and Mac, and successfully generated. So now it should work. This we have successfully generated. Let's run our app again. So when you run again, your app icon will be changed, and your app icon will be this one that we have given here, this one. Okay, so let's just run it now. It will take a while to run, like I think 5-6 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Let's just wait and see. So it's building, it's installing now, and once it's run, if it's correctly integrated, then we'll be able to see the app icon. Okay. Yeah, so you can see your app icon has changed now, and if you go back, okay, and minimize your app, then you can see the app icon has changed here as well. So similarly for iOS also you can change, and for web, Windows and Mac, for all of them you can change. Now let me run for Windows also once. So let's do a flutter run command for the Chrome. Okay, now let's until then let's go back and look at our readme. So this is how you can run this. Now in the attributes you can see we have certain attributes, that certain key that we can give a value to and explore. So this is a global, which is image path. Then we have in Android we can give true, false or an image. Okay, so Android we can give true or false according to whether we want to make the icon or not, we want to use the icon or not. Okay, and here in the web you can see I just launched, so you can see this is the logo here. So I will show you which logo we are using. So we are using this logo, the S logo. Okay, so you can see it's very tiny here, but you can see that this logo is the one that is getting displayed. Okay, which means it is working for web as well. Okay, So you can use it for web, Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, like that. And then we have image path, which is again a global, the same thing. And the same image path we have in Android as well, iOS as well, web as well, Windows and Mac, all 5 of them. Okay. Then if you want to select a different image for Android and a different one for iOS, let's say you have different dimensions for it, so you can use this particular line of code for Android and this line of code for iOS. Okay. And in the default example in their repo, they have done that. They have used the different images. So we can copy that as well, and we can paste that also in our project. And here I will just, once since I've pasted this, I cannot use the image path global anymore. So I'll just remove that, or else I can comment also, that is also fine. And then we have something called an adaptive icon background and foreground. So this I will come back to later. Okay. In the iOS, we have a remove alpha iOS, which was giving us the warning earlier, so we added a true for it. Okay, that removes the alpha channel for iOS icons. Then in the web, we have something called generate, to which we give true or false. So it specifies whether to generate the icons for this platform or not. And this generate we have in web, Windows and Mac, all 3. Okay. Then in web we have 2 more attributes, which is background color and theme color. So you can give your hex code here and it will update. Similarly for Windows we have an attribute called icon size. So you can either give the icon size specifically, or else you can just give it within constraints. Okay. And in Mac OS only we have to generate an image path. Okay. Then they have something called a flavor support. So flavor support is for creating your own launcher icons. So to create a Flutter launcher icon configuration file for your flavor, you can use this. So they have given an example for flavor in a directory called flavors. So you can just go in that directory and you can see how they have done it. Okay. So I'm just using a default example here. That's why I'm in that directory. Now let's check out the adaptive icons. So in the adaptive icon background and foreground, I can give solid colors as well, and I can give an image asset as well. So let's see. I'm just going to use the same ones that they are using for their project. So I'll just copy these 2 lines of code and I'm going to paste it right here, and I'm going to correct the indentation, and I'm going to correct the path as well. So there's no images folder anymore. We have only assets. That's why I'm going to just remove these parts. Now we have a Christmas background PNG, which is this file, and we have a icon foreground, which is this file. Okay. And the image path for Android and iOS is different, and the global image path that I have already removed. So now let's do a pub-get once more. Okay, and now let's run it once more, the second command. So we are working with YAML. That's why any change we do, pub-get is very necessary. Okay. So we have no more errors and warnings, which means this is very much successful. Now let's just run the app. Okay. So this time my app icon will have a foreground and a background adaptive icon. Okay. So the background will be the Christmas background, and which is this one, and the foreground will be this icon, a house icon on top of this background. Okay. So let's just see if this works or not. So I'm building my app again from scratch. Okay, let's just wait until then. So you can give a background color iOS as well. That is what they have given in their example also. Okay, and you can check out their example, the default example. Pretty much all of it I have covered. And in the flavors, you can give and check how they have developed the launcher icons. And that is pretty much your readme. And there's some troubleshooting. So there are already some issues that people are facing. You can just see what common issues they have, and if you get any of them, you can resolve it very easily. Okay, so that is your package. And in the examples tab, they have already covered both of the examples in their repo. Okay, so our app is now up and running. Let's see. So now you can see your icon has changed. So you have a background and you have a foreground image. Now if I click on it, you can see it up and big. Okay, let's see it again. See. Okay, so this is how you can use adaptive background and foreground as well. You can use your image path as well. If you want a common icon for both Android and iOS, if you want separate, then you can use this as well. So also adaptive background and foreground are used in pairs. They have mentioned this in their readme. Okay, yeah, here that adaptive icons will only be generated when both of them are present as specified. So it's not like you specify one of them and the other is taken automatically. That is not going to happen. So if you, let's say, give a background and you don't give a foreground, so the image path is not automatically taken as a foreground. So it will only work when you give both of it. Okay, so that's the summary for your Flutter Launcher Icons package. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and if you want me to cover a certain topic in Flutter or a certain package in Flutter, then please do that in the comment section. I'll make a video on those as well. So that's all for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video.